Coming up next is DC News number 71, and in it we have stories on Flashpoint and how it's killed half of the DC universe. Bill Willingham off of the JSA. American Vampires getting a miniseries. We've also got stories on Batman and Superman, specifically Jim Gordon, Gates of Gotham, The Leviathan, and Action Comics. All that and more coming right up. The 20th every month is Founders Day here at Alternate Reality, and on the 20th, you can save 20% off everything I've got in the store. All my comics, trade paperbacks, action figures, statues, posters, supplies, gaming stuff, everything is 20% off on the 20th, except for this week's shipping and my buy-in-bulk supplies. But everything else is 20% off. So stop on down to Alternate Reality on the 20th of every month and save yourself 20% off.
News from the DC Universe. It's Comic Book Man and Bo, and they're from another universe.
I'm the bad guy. We always have a plan.
DC Comic Book News, episode 71. Dim were the bulbs.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for whoever wants to take it.
DC News. It's DC News.
DC News. DC News is coming from Alternate Reality, where all new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. We're located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. And of course, all DC Comics, as I said, are 15% off every day for everyone, all new ones. And first story we have up is Flashpoint and the plethora of books that are coming out to support the title, and the books that we've talked about before that have been to make way for the Flashpoint titles. Boo!
You've canceled. We'll see. Big, huge May thing. You're going to be seeing no more issues of Doom Patrol, Azrael, Batman Streets of Gotham, Batman Confidential, which has been on the death list for years now, Outsiders, Freedom Fighters, Rebels, and JSA All-Stars, which is kind of a shock.
The eight titles I talked about in Week in Review last time.
JSA All-Stars? That is kind of
All-Stars have been canceled. Now, some of the people working on these books will find work on these Flashpoint miniseries. Tony Bedard's writing Flashpoint Emperor Aquaman. Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, who aren't even working at DC right now, are coming back to do Flashpoint Wonder Woman and the Flashpoint Lois Lane book. Now, the book that everyone's talking about is the George Perez, Peter Milligan Secret 7 book.
Secret 7?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
They're secret.
And also, speaking of cancellations, because you've got all these little Flashpoint miniseries, there's rumors that DC's going to kill the entire First Wave line.
The first wave,
including stuff that's already been in the can and already been paid for.
Yeah, the word is it's a retroactive cancellation. When they announce a cancellation, whatever's come out is what's out. Whatever they've got in the can ain't coming out.
Wow.
So if it hasn't gone to the printers yet, it ain't going to happen, no matter where they're at in the storylines.
I mean, the Mesa list has come out in the Diamond catalog, which comes out this week, right?
Yeah.
That means they'll tell you.
That's kind of a slap in the face to the readership. What if they're in the midst of a storyline? Well, there is some readership out there, obviously.
We are going to talk about this more in Week in Review for the 23rd of February, so be sure to check that out. Okay, next up, because we're going to move on. Next up, Bill Willingham has left the JSA because...
Well, he left the JSA after 12 issues because he said that editorial had this idea of turning some of the members of the JSA evil for about 3 or 4 issues, and he said, you know, I'm just not feeling that, so I'm just going to walk on.
I assume it's to tie in with this storyline, the Eclipso storyline that Justice League is doing.
I think it was that they were going to do that. They were going to do the crossover. He said, I'm just not feeling that, so I think I'll just walk away.
Whenever Eclipso turns up, you have heroes that go bad.
Yep.
He's still working on his long-delayed Werewolves of the Heartland graphic novel, which should be out around Christmas time. And it involves Fable's character Big B Wolf on a solo adventure.
A solo adventure?
Yes.
Good for him.
Jim Fern's drawing.
What's the B stand for?
B.
Big B.
Big B Wolf.
The Big Bad Wolf.
Big Bad
Get
Wolf.
it?
There you go.
Get
Big
it?
Bad Wolf.
Big B.
Willingham always seemed to be out of...
I know how you feel, comic book man.
Superhero genre.
Willingham isn't really out of his element of the superhero genre. He was having fun. He had a lot of plans for Justice. He had plans.
Willingham's the guy that put together the
Justice
Elementals.
Society.
Remember
Right.
the Elementals?
Sure.
That was a great, actually a great run.
That's right.
Right. I mean, and so basically he walked away, and then this when they brought in Guggenheim to do the JSA thing.
Actually, he revitalized his career with Fables because he had done a lot of stuff which wasn't getting any attention at all, and he came up with this idea for Fables over at Vertigo. And like most Vertigo projects like this, Vertigo said, "Sure, go ahead and do it. You know, we'll roll the dice. We'll see what happens." Nobody expected it to go anywhere, and it became huge.
And Bill Willingham became a big deal again.
And he became a big deal again, which should be an example to a lot of writers out there who think they've shot their wad creatively. Go over to Vertigo or someplace like that and do something completely different.
Would that help Merv Wolfman?
Wouldn't hurt. So while we're talking about Vertigo, American Vampires got a miniseries coming up, Survival of the Fittest, set in the Second World War.
It will tie in with the next long arc on American Vampire. It will focus on the character Cash, because he's got a vampire son, Felicia, who's Jim Book's daughter. It'll also give us the history of the vassals of the Morning Star, the regular humans who realize that vampires are here to stay, and so we need to get together, group up, and kill them all.
Well, good for them.
Sounds scary.
It's wrong.
Last couple stories we have are World's Finest stories. They involve Superman and Batman.
Oh, I love them both.
Oh, they're both great.
I like Batman more than Superman.
Well, yeah, we all know that. First story up, Jim Gordon has had a series of backups.
Yes.
In which, Detective? Or
Detective Comics. So Jim
Detective.
Snyder was writing the front story and the back story.
What's up with those?
The backup story was going to be Jim Gordon. The plan is for at least about 3 issues, the Gordon backup story will become the main story, and there'll be a story on the back of it, and Francisco Francavilla will be drawing that because they want Jock to have a little rest, so he'll be coming back for 876 to 878. But
Okay.
basically the Gordon backup feature will be the main story in Detective
Okay.
for a while.
Bo,
Yes.
what is Grant Morrison's Leviathan?
Well, we don't know.
It's code for something we don't want to know.
Grant keeps hinting at it in Batman. What the hell's that book? Batman, because it doesn't ship.
Which
for
Gates
Batman
of Gotham.
No, not Gates of Gotham. Batman International.
Oh, Batman International.
How many issues have they shipped so far?
One.
No, two.
Okay, isn't it supposed to be a monthly book?
Well, so is the Dark Knight thing from.
They shipped one of those, right?
Well,
From
ship up,
Finch.
they ends up in a
Yeah.
basket case every week.
Yeah.
So anyway, Grant keeps.
Ask me about Batman Europa.
Yeah, it's another one that's fallen off the rails.
Oh, that's a story. But go ahead.
But he's been hinting about something called Leviathan. He said that that we'll find out what this is in the Batman books later on this year, and it'll be crossing over to the other Batman books as well.
It's
But
an
this-
event, a bad
It's
event.
this big event, or this brand new villain character who's supposedly maybe even more scarier than the Joker or something like that.
More scarier than the Joker. I don't buy that.
It's
at
possible.
all. Okay. Batman Gates of Gotham is coming this May. It's a 6-issue miniseries, and it's coming from.
Scott Snyder, Kyle Higgins, and Trevor McCarthy. It'll show the history of Gotham City and the families that built it because
You want to know.
Well, no, because Snyder Detective has sort of come up with this interesting take that the personality and the character of Gotham City depends on who's wearing the Batman mask. And so when Bruce Wayne was Batman, Gotham City developed a certain way, but because Dick Grayson's wearing the Batman outfit now,
It's going a different
the city's
direction?
going a different direction. So
Is that good or bad?
Oh, well, that's what we're going to be finding out
It's
for
going
the
to be a
next
big
year or so.
circus.
Hence the story.
But yeah, it's a big story, and it'll show the history of the families, the Elliott family, the Wayne family. It'll show the history of the Cobblepot family, and also the Joker's family. So you'll find out why Gotham looks the way it is, why the buildings are exactly where they're supposed to be, because apparently Gotham was laid out by someone to look exactly the way it's supposed to look.
Anton First?
Anton First, yes. Anton First, too. How long ago? Anton First has been dead for how long?
10 years.
He could have laid out the. It doesn't matter. He
He's
could
been
have been the
dead for like
architect.
20 years, and yet Gotham City still
That
looks
was
like the
designed by
city
Asher.
looks in the Tim Burton Batman
I have
film.
no problem with that.
No, I don't.
I have no problem
Brand
with
new
that.
modern
One of the best things.
skyscrapers next to really weird ass looking buildings.
One of the best things about that Burton Batman film was the architecture. As I mentioned, we've got a world's finest series of stories. So the last thing up we have is Superman. Specifically, what's up with Action Comics 899 and the big 900.
900.
899 involves Brainiac. It is basically set in space. It'll lead to the oversized 900. Now 900 and 901 will be finishing off the Reign of the Doomsday storyline.
Okay.
And for those of you who are wondering, Paul Cornell is not leaving the book, even though Superman will actually be returning to the pages of Action Comics.
Good.
He's sticking around for quite some time.
I'm hoping that Paul Cornell can do as much interesting stuff with Superman in action as he's done with Lex Luthor over the last 10 issues or so.
And what's really weird is you had Straczynski coming in. He's been replaced by Jimmy Robinson. They don't know who's following up Jimmy Robinson. You've had Cornell come in to do action, so the Superman revamp has worked, and the Batman restart, big news teams. They've gotten 3 issues out in 6 months.
Well,
what the hell?
part of the problem with that is they pick artists who take forever to do this
Yeah,
stuff.
well, that's-
like Mr. Finch.
Yeah, I mean, but they should have known that right away because Pete Woods, his stuff's all digital, so action's never late because there is no actual artwork. It's all on the computer.
It might pay to get a few issues in the can before you solicit these things.
It would be a clue.
That would be nice. DC used to do that when Paul Levitz was in charge of the company. Paul Levitz.
Oh, that guy.
That
You know,
guy.
I mean-
they used to actually get the stuff out on a pretty regular basis back then.
I mean, the DC and the Marvel people get together. When David Finch was doing the Avengers book, he had like a year lead time, so
Yeah.
it means the book didn't ship late. You signed him to an exclusive, and you said, "Hey, do this book." And he's never going to be a month.
I don't have a I bitch all the time about artists who are slow holding books up, but if you know the artist is slow, give them the lead time to get caught up on what they're doing, and make it a bi-monthly book. Don't make it a monthly book. Okay, you know this guy's going to be slow. Nothing's going to change. Okay, if he's been slow for the last 5 years, he's going to be slow for the next 5 years.
It just seems doubly awkward because DC had weekly books, several weekly series coming out on time for several years in a row, and this just seems out of
And there's a reason you hire the guy, because you like the way his art comes out. Now you're not willing to wait for it? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, just don't say he's doing a monthly series.
Exactly.
You know, make it bi-monthly.
And know that going in, because that's why you want to.
Yeah, because the first thing they say is David Finch decided exclusive he's going to be doing this monthly Batman book. I just started laughing.
Yeah, I think most people did when they heard the word monthly in David Finch. Anyway, that's it. We're done with Finisher out of here. We got no more DC news, but you can go to the store's website and you can check out all the DC news. And JR,
yes,
where's the store's website?
Sarah knows. I don't know.
www.myalternatereality.com. It's the last website you'll ever need. How sad.
So stop off at the store's website and check out all of the news that Bo sends me that I post up for DC Comics. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And it's JR. And it's
Bo.
Saying bye. Alternate Reality is located at 3149 West 111th Street. That's the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in Chicago, the beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood neighborhood. You can always reach us at 773-881-HERO or at the store's website, www.myalternatereality.com.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.